Hello, Fambam. I am so beyond excited today to come on here and to share with you guys my first trimester update. So if you couldn't tell by the title of this video, today I'm going to kind of summarize and just update my first trimester and tell you guys all the things I was craving, how I was feeling, and anything like that. And then if we have time, I might include some bonus information at the end, but it depends on time, so we'll just kind of see where life goes. Now, Wheatley is down here with me. He can't really stay away from me, which is fine. So if you hear some sounds, that is him. I just wanted to put that out there. He's like, who are you talking to? Just being a cutie. Anyways, okay, so first trimester. So back in my announcement video to you guys, I told you guys that Wheatley is just so cute. Anyways, I told you guys that we found out that we were expecting on July 28th. And the way pregnancy works, which I don't quite understand, but your pregnancy starts the day of your last period. Like the first day of your last period, which is so weird to me. So when calculating your due date, you go to the first day of your last period, and then you go up 7 days, and then you go back 3 months. Does that make sense? So my last period would have been June 29th. That was the first day of my last period. And then they went forward 7 days, which would be July 5th, and then back 3 months, which makes it April 5th. So my due date is April 5th, 2021. And then I guess you move it up a year, obviously. Anyways, so that's kind of how that works. So when you find out you're pregnant, you're technically already 4 weeks pregnant, or about that time, which to me just doesn't make any sense. But that's okay, it is what it is. So like I said, found out we're quote unquote 4 weeks, and we were really excited, and it's really hard when you first find out to not tell anyone, because it's so exciting, but at the same time there is so much that could happen that you don't want to tell too many people, and then something bad happen. You have to go and tell all those people about the bad things that have happened. So you just have to really make sure, if you do tell people, that you tell people who will support you in the good and the bad, and that kind of thing, just to make sure that you're okay, because it's just a little scary in those first few weeks. So anyways, back to the good stuff. That's all kind of just getting stuff out of the way, just to inform you guys. So for me, we found out, I was so excited, and one of the things that you can have is nausea. I really didn't have, this is a very common symptom, I would say, that you have of pregnancy. And I really didn't have a whole lot of it. I have a friend that I reached out to whenever I found out that we were pregnant, and she was currently pregnant at the time as well, with her second child, and I asked her how to combat nausea, and I really just asked her so I could make sure I was one step ahead in case I did have it, because I'm the kind of person, if I have nausea, I don't do well with it. It kind of ruins my whole day, and I'm not really able to get a lot done. So I was really hoping and praying for no nausea, and so I got very lucky, and I didn't have really a lot of nausea. Excuse me. There were a couple of mornings where I got up and I think I just wasn't eating enough to go to before bed, where I woke up, I kind of felt not really nauseous, but on the brink of it, if that makes sense. And so she told me to make some toast and eat it first thing in the morning. And so I did that for about my first week. I had toast first thing in the morning before I even took Wheatley out or did anything. And that honestly did help me feel better. But after a while, after a week of doing that, I was I'm not really feeling nauseous. Is this really necessary? So, and usually when I wake up in the mornings, I'm usually pretty hungry. And so it went from toast to cinnamon raisin bagels with cream cheese is what I would eat with 2 eggs scrambled with cheddar cheese. Very rare or very random, but that's just what I would have. And I don't know if that just helped with my nausea or what, but I really didn't have nausea, but I guess because I was hungrier, it was just very filling. So that's what I would have. So anyways, so nausea is a symptom that you can have. I didn't really experience that, so I consider myself very lucky. Another symptom you can have, which this was probably like such a big factor of my first trimester, is exhaustion. I was so beyond exhausted. Like I would be able to go to work and function and do stuff, but like on my days off, I would get up and move to the couch, and I probably wouldn't move from the couch. I was so tired, and there were a couple of days where I was so exhausted, like just going to the grocery store would like wear me out. I would be so exhausted, I would take a nap. And I don't take naps. Like I'm the kind of person, if I'm tired, I'll just go to bed early, like the night before or like that night or whatever. But I do not take naps. Never really have been able to since I was like in elementary or middle school. Really, I guess elementary school. Just not a nap person. But I became a nap person when I became pregnant. I was so tired all the time, and like some things were just like physically exhausting for me. Like we would try to go for a walk in the evenings. I said the W word, and like we couldn't, like we usually take like a good sized walk, like a mile to maybe 2 miles, maybe every now and then like 2.5 mile walk in the evening, and I would barely be able to make it around the apartment complex sometimes. It was just really hard to cope with it because I still had school and like other responsibilities that I needed to get done, and so it was just really hard. That was like the one thing that I feel suffered from, and I'm, like I said, I'm very blessed to have just suffered from just that, like really. Another thing people can have is like cramping and stuff like that. Hi, bud. Hi. And I really didn't have that. Another thing is like urinary frequency. Like you pee all the time. I really didn't have frequency, and I don't know if that's just because of my job. Like I have a bladder of steel, because there are days where I just don't pee at all. Are you my audience? You're just so cute. Sitting literally right in front of me. It's really funny. Yes. Can I help you? Okay, you just want to give me some tissues? Huh? Okay, anyways, but like I would have like urgency. So I wouldn't need to like pee all the time, but when I needed to pee, I needed to go right then and there, or I was gonna pee my pants. Which I did not do, but like it was like, oh my gosh, I need to pee right now. So I would say urgency for me was more of a thing than like frequency, but I know like urinary frequency is very common, and that's just because the bladder or the uterus is growing and expanding, and it lays right on top of the bladder, and your bladder is not used to your uterus being like so far over where it's pushing down on it. So because when your bladder gets, like the fuller your bladder gets, the more it expands. And so that's why you feel like you have to pee all the time, because your uterus is kind of like weighing down over your bladder. Anyways, so that's something you can have. I mean, really, there's a lot of things you can have. Some people have like a ton of energy. Some people like actually have nausea and vomiting, and like they really struggle with that. There are a lot of other symptoms too, I guess, but I just really didn't have a lot. I think instead of nausea, I was like hungrier than usual. Like it was bad. I would eat all the time. So like I guess those are like my symptoms of like my first trimester that I really struggled with. Not really struggled with, but like that I experienced. And then now I want to move on to food, because I feel like this is a big topic and I feel like it's very important. So whenever I was like excited, like we were excited to start trying and stuff, I tried to start eating healthy. And I've always been someone who's eaten really healthy. Like I take a salad to work most days, or like I eat like, you know, salads throughout my week. Like I'm not vegan or anything, so I do eat meat regularly and stuff like that, but I do try to incorporate lots of vegetables and fresh fruits and fresh vegetables into my diet. You know, I eat yogurt pretty regularly. You know, I watch my red meat. I try to stick with more chicken and stuff like that. I eat eggs. Like I eat a really well-balanced diet. But pregnancy has really altered that for me. So when I first became pregnant, like the only things that sounded good to me were pizza, and to be more specific, Papa John's pizza, which I don't know why, and burgers and fries. Specifically the burgers, but like fries would be like what I would want with it. And so that's what I ate a lot of in my first trimester. We ordered in a lot of pizza, and it was so weird because I like pizza, but it's not like the first thing I go for. Like I'm gonna, you know, try to go for like a salad, or I really prefer like pasta dishes, I guess. So like if we're gonna order an Italian, like I go for like lasagna or like a spaghetti or something kind of like that, Alfredo, before I'd go for pizza. But like I specifically wanted pepperoni pizza. It was the weirdest thing, and I would dip it in ranch, which isn't weird. Like I've done that before pregnancy, but like pregnancy like enhanced that craving, and it was awful. I mean, not really, it tasted great, but not good for baby, I guess. And so that was one thing that I had that I craved a lot of, was pizza. And so we ate pizza a lot. And then we would also eat burgers. Like, man, I don't think I've ever had so many burgers in like such a short amount of time that I've had in my first trimester. It's been kind of dangerous, but so good. Oh my goodness. I like love a burger, man. Anyway, so those are like the two like bigger things that I feel like I've craved a lot. I also really have eaten a lot more eggs, I feel, than usual. Like usually I eat eggs 2 to 3 times a week, you know, a good amount. But like there were a couple weeks where I literally think I had eggs like either every day or like almost every day, and it was crazy. With cinnamon raisin bagels and cream cheese, and they're like the mini bagels, so it's not like that much food, but like that's usually what I ate for breakfast, like when I was first pregnant, and it was delicious, honestly, but like that's just what I reached for, and like anything healthy sounded horrible. Like a salad made me want, like it was an aversion, which was like, no thank you. I usually drink a cup of coffee every day. That was an aversion. I have not had, like I now will have a cup of coffee like maybe once or twice a week, maybe, like if I'm lucky. It's just not something that like sounds pleasant to me, which is just so strange because I always drink it like it's nobody's business, and that's been a really hard struggle, especially with like all the exhaustion that I had. To not be able to have caffeine to like help me with it was very, very hard, very hard. And so those are like, yeah, I guess that's one thing I had an aversion to. Like I said, the salads, couldn't even think a good thought, couldn't even think a good thought about that. And then sometimes I'll eat like oatmeal or something like that, but like that was even something I kind of struggled with early on in my pregnancy. Like as I've progressed and got closer to my second trimester, a couple of those things started to sound pretty good. Like I craved like sweet potatoes, which is a little bit of a better potato than regular potatoes. And I also craved, I think I made some Brussels sprouts one day, which is pretty good. I started to crave broccoli towards like the end of my first trimester. So I had broccoli a few times. But really, I feel like I've eaten more meat things, meat and potatoes, like for the majority of my first trimester. That's all that would sounded good to me, which is just so weird to me. That's not like what I normally eat. But yeah, and then I'm trying to think if there are any other aversions that I had. Really like a lot of sweet stuff. Like now it like is starting to come back. and like sound better to me, but like nothing sweet sounded good. Like chocolate, like pancakes or French toast, no thank you. Like none of that sounded good to me, which is so weird because like I'm usually like a sweets person, so like if I am gonna like go out and have like treat myself to breakfast, I usually get like a pancake or a French toast or something like that, and all I wanted were like sausage, egg, and cheese like sandwiches for breakfast, or like I said, a burger. I do think we did get some pasta once. And I want to say I got lasagna one time, which, yum. And then I also think I got like some kind of like red meat, like beef pasta. I don't remember exactly. But like pasta is like kind of been something, I guess. But yeah, those are just the things I've been craving. And I just, like, I would eat all the time. So I would wake up, let's say I wake up around 6:30, 7 a.m. And I would eat something, usually my scrambled eggs and bagels, drink some water. And then that was like 7. Now about 9 or so, I get hungry again. And like, it's not like, oh, I'm kind of hungry. Like my stomach would be growling. Like, what? Just ate. That's how I felt. And so I would eat something again. And usually that would be cheese or, man, I don't even like remember what all. Cereal. I've really liked a lot of cereals. A bowl of cereal, something like that. I would snack on something snacky, crackers, chips, baked Lay's. Oh my gosh, like they're my favorite chip, like anyways, but like they're like, it's my new obsession. Like it's bad. Like I would snack, Cheetos was always one that I would grab for. A lot of junkier stuff, which I'm not normally like drawn to that. Like I don't normally crave chips, but I craved chips, let me tell you. So that's usually what I'd have with like my 9 a.m.-ish snack, and then I get hungry about 11 or 11:30, and I usually would do a beef and cheese stick because David wakes up if I'm home around like 12 or so, and so I try to have lunch with him. So I do like a smaller snack then, so that way I'd be able to eat lunch with him. And so then for lunch I would do SpaghettiOs or just unhealthy stuff. Let's see, I think I did like a cheese quesadilla a couple times. I've done some soup. I've done, I really craved like hot dogs, which is so weird. I guess like in the first few weeks, so at my first appointment that I had with my doctor, I asked her, or I asked the NP, the nurse practitioner that I saw, am I allowed to have a hot dog? And she said, as long as it's cooked and steaming, you're fine. And same with like lunch meat. So I've been eating, like after I got the okay for there, I would have like a ham and cheese sandwich with avocado and spicy mustard. So good. Oh my goodness. That's what I would eat for lunch. Or like I said, hot dog with lots of mustard. That's something I would eat a lot of. And then supper, we would eat whatever, usually pizza or leftover pizza. So yeah, so those are like the food things I guess I had. And like aversions, I'm trying to think of any more aversions. I just like, I kind of felt bad because all of my like things I have been trying to like do to help create a healthy environment for my baby like went out the window when I became pregnant. But I feel like I have done a pretty good job, like now getting into my second trimester, and being in my second trimester, like making sure I'm eating healthier things and like choosing a healthier alternative, stuff like that. I still like, if I have a craving for something or something sounds really good, I tend to get that because that's what my body's telling me it wants. And I am very like intuitive with my body and in tune. So I don't know, that's just how I've always really been, is like if something sounds good, I try to get that. Because that's nutrients I don't probably not putting into my body. And so, yeah, so that's just how I've always been. And then like, weight gain, obviously I've gained a few pounds because of pregnancy, but like your first trimester you really don't want to gain more, I think, than like 5 or so pounds, and I was really good about I think I gained like a total of 3, in my first trimester, which is actually really good. I kind of maintained, and then now that I'm in my second trimester, weight is a little bit different, but that'll be for a different video. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I'd like to update you guys. Wheatley, I think, knew from the beginning that I was pregnant, because he has been like, he was kind of really cuddly with me at first, and then like he can't leave my side. Like, he's always next to me, always in the same room as me, always like on me or like next to me or near me. Like, he has to be able to like look up and see me. Like, he's literally like just right over like there, like just around this bed, like right there. So I just think that's kind of cute, because I think he kind of knew before like any of us, really. And I think he's really excited for it too. He's become more protective over me, which is fine. But like when we take walks and stuff, sometimes he gets a little aggressive, and I'm like, whoa, buddy, like, it's okay. Yeah, if there are any questions that you guys have for me, because I feel like I'm forgetting something or leaving out information, do leave a comment or a question below, and I would love to answer your questions. I just thought this would be a really fun way to get on here and like show you guys, or talk to you guys, I guess, not really show you guys, about my first trimester and like what I experienced. Like I said, really consider myself lucky. I really didn't experience any like negative symptoms, and I was really able to cope with a lot of things, which was awesome. And then like I have my husband home too with me, and so he's able to like help me out around the house and like pick up my slack that I kind of slacked on. And so that was just very nice, and I was very appreciative of that. So if you're new to the channel and you have not already subscribed, now is your time to do so. So I will put the little notification in here for you to subscribe. And if you never want to miss a video, don't forget to click the little red bell that's next to the subscription thing. That way you that way you never miss a time when I upload, and you can watch it right away. And if you liked this video and like want to see more pregnancy content, give us a thumbs up, a heads up, a thumbs up, so that way I know that you are interested, and I can make more of this kind of content. I have a few ideas of things I want to do, but we'll see how things go. So anyways, thank you everyone for joining me, and I appreciate all the love and support, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, Fambam!